You might have seen those guys who work out every day, eats more protein than he breathes air, but still somehow manages to look like a slender man, whereas another dude just touches some dumbbells and looks like Thanos instantly. Of course, the slender man is taller than the Thanos we are talking about, but height is a separate topic in itself. Is genetics everything in bodybuilding? Are you blaming your mom for the tiny calves you have? Well, genetics has a huge role, but it isn't entirely over for you. Let's break this down with science, sarcasm, and some spicy truths that might hurt more than leg day. What actually are genetics? Let's start with a little science. Don't worry, I won't ask you to remember your 10th grade biology teacher. Genetics refers to the DNA blueprint you inherit from your parents. It determines stuff like muscle fiber type, bone structure, hormone levels, response to training, and yes, where fat loves to camp out rent-free on your body. So yeah, genetics can decide whether your biceps look like Mount Everest or like two confused hills. What genetics can influence in bodybuilding? Here's the part where some of you start getting mad at your genetically gifted friend. Muscle insertion points. Longer versus shorter muscle bellies equals different shapes. Muscle fiber composition. More fast twitch fibers equals better potential for hypertrophy. Myostatin levels. Lower levels equal freakish muscle growth. Testosterone production. Higher natural T equals more anabolic environment. Recovery ability. Some recover like Wolverine. Others, like a broken printer. So yes, genetics can mean the difference between looking like Chris Bumstead or Chris from accounting. What genetics don't control? Alright doomers, listen up, because here's where hope comes in. Genetics don't control your work ethic. They don't control your consistency. They don't control your diet, unless your parents made you allergic to chicken breast. They definitely don't control whether you skip leg day. That's on you, champ. Even elite pros say the grind is what makes the difference. Ronnie Coleman didn't get 8 Sandos by blaming his mom's glutes. Can you outwork bad genetics? Short answer, yes, with a side of, it depends. Hard work plus average genetics equals above average results. Hard work plus elite genetics equals god-tier physique. No work plus elite genetics equals gym guy who looks amazing but never lifts legs. No work plus bad genetics equals SpongeBob in a tank top. Everyone has their ceiling. You might not become Mr. Olympia, but you can absolutely become the best version of you, and that's still more jacked than 95% of the population. The Genetics Jackpot. What if you win? Let's talk about what happens if you win the genetic lottery. Like if your parents were sculpted by Michelangelo and powerlifted during pregnancy. Naturally wide clavicles and narrow waist, classic X-frame, long muscle bellies, full round-looking muscles, high testosterone and growth hormone levels, fast twitch muscle fiber dominance, low myostatin levels, aka genetic cheat code, naturally lean year-round. People with elite genetics make progress faster, recover quicker, and look jacked just standing in line for Starbucks. The harsh truth, what if you didn't win? But what if your genes are more dad bod than Greek god? Here's what bad luck might look like. Narrow shoulders, wide hips, short muscle bellies, peakless biceps, slow twitch muscle dominance, less explosive power, lower testosterone, struggle with fat loss despite eating like a bird, constant soreness or poor recovery. I'm not saying it's over, but your uphill battle has a hill the size of Everest. Bad genetics don't mean bad results, they just mean harder work and a better story. Epigenetics. Can you change your DNA response? Now here's where science gets sexy. Epigenetics. That's the study of how your environment and lifestyle affect how your genes express themselves. Just because you're born with certain genes doesn't mean they're active. Sleep, diet, stress, and training style can literally switch genes on or off. It's like having a Bugatti in the garage. You still need the keys and fuel. Resistance training turns on genes for muscle growth. Poor sleep turns off recovery-related genes. High-protein diets influence gene expression and protein synthesis. You can't pick your DNA, but you can decide how well it performs. How training styles adapt to your genetics. Let's get practical. If you know your genetics, you can actually train smarter, not just harder. Examples by trait: long limbs, focus on control, not max weights, long levers equals joint strain. Slow twitch dominant, emphasize volume and time under tension. Poor recovery, train smarter with frequency, deloads, and sleep optimization. Struggle with fat gain, track macros meticulously and favor resistance over cardio. Your training program should fit your body, not your ego. The role of nutrition versus genetics. Here's where things get spicy. Nutrition. You could have the genetics of The Rock, but if you eat like a raccoon in a dumpster, good luck growing anything but regret. Tips on nutrition. Protein equals muscle synthesis. Trigger carbs equals training fuel. Fats equals hormonal health. Micronutrients equals the stuff that keeps you alive while chasing aesthetics. A genetically gifted guy on a garbage diet will always lose to an average dude with meal prep containers and a plan. Examples of genetic freaks versus hard workers. Let's play a little game I call Genetic Mutant or Gym Rat from Hell. Examples: Ronnie Coleman, freak genetics and freak work ethic. Kai Green, not the most gifted, but trained like a man possessed by a protein ghost. Larry Wheels, strength mutant with crazy levers and recovery. Your gym buddy who curls in the squat rack. Just annoying, not genetic. Bottom line, genetics are the cards you're dealt, but you still have to play the game. And if you're smart about training, sleep, and nutrition, you're stacking the deck in your favor. So, is genetics everything? Here's your conclusion. Genetics matter, but they're not everything. They give you your starting line, but you choose how far you run. Whether you're built like Goku or Krillin, you can get stronger, leaner, and better than you were yesterday. That's the real win. The mental trap of the genetics excuse. Here's where we get real for a second. Blaming genetics becomes a mental cage. It's a way to excuse not trying, and trust me, I've been there, sitting in a hoodie wondering why my chest still looks like a pancake. Spoiler alert, I wasn't eating or training right. You might not be a Ferrari, but you can still be a finely tuned Mustang, and Mustangs still smoke 90% of traffic on the road. Takeaways and motivation boost. Here's what I want you to do. Stop comparing yourself to others. Start optimizing your routine based on your body. Focus on long-term progress, not Instagram PRs. Celebrate wins, big or small. A 5-pound PR is still progress. Leave your excuses in the comments so I can roast them later. That's most of it from this blue dude. If you found this video helpful, drop a like, flex that subscribe button, as this is a new channel and I need your help to grow, just like I motivated you to grow your sternocleidomastoid. That is this muscle.